Hello Year 10. This lesson we're going to look at the surface area of cubes and cuboids. Now you need to make sure you've got the right worksheet. That's the one that I attached to the checklist and it's also on Go for Schools. It looks like this. Here are your do now questions. Pause this video, have a go, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. So the first one, 12 by 8 is 96 centimetres squared. 11 times 4.6 is 50.6 centimetres squared. 3 times 20 is 60 centimetres squared. An area of a square with sides of length 15 would be 15 times 15, which is 225 metres squared. And a cuboid net can look like this. So let's have a look at surface area of cubes and cuboids. Last lesson, we looked at the area of two-dimensional shapes. Now a three-dimensional shape, you can't find the area, but you can find the area of all the sides. So for a cube, it would be the sides that look like this, and a cuboid, it would look like this. This is called surface area. Here's a cube with each side being 2 centimetres. If I look at it as a net, I can see there are 6 sides. So the area of each individual side would be 2 by 2, which is 4 centimetres squared. Now because there are 6 identical sides, I can just multiply that by 6 to give me the total surface area of 24 centimetres squared. You can also find the area of a cube without drawing the net first. For this example, I can see that the length is 5 centimetres, and because it's a cube, all the sides are the same length. So the area of each face is 5 times 5, which is 25 centimetres squared. And again, there are 6 sides of a cube, so therefore 25 times 6 gives a total surface area of 150 centimetres squared. A cuboid is slightly different because all the lengths are different sizes, so in this case it may be more helpful to draw a net. You can see in my diagram that A is that side on the right hand side. The dimensions of it are 4 by 3, so that's an area of 12 centimetres squared. B is the front of my cuboid. Those dimensions are 5 across and 3 up, so 5 times 3 is 15. C is the base of my cuboid. It has a length of 5 and it's going 4 centimetres back, so that's the total area of that side of being 20. D is the back of my cuboid, so again it has a base of 5 and it has a height of 3. E is the top of my cuboid, which is 5 by 4. And finally F is the left hand side of my cuboid, so those dimensions are also 4 by 3. So when I add those together, I have a total surface area of 94 centimetres squared. So you've probably noticed that these answers are actually in pairs. You can see that A and F are the same, you can see that B and D are the same size, and C and E are the same. So therefore we could actually find just 3 of the sides and then double that answer. Here's an example of doing that without drawing a net. So if I look at the front and back of my cuboid, I can see that the base is 12 and the height is 5. Now because 2 of those sides are the same, I can just do 12 times 5 and double that answer to give me 120 centimetres squared. If I look at 2 other sides that are also the same measurements, so if I have a look at the sides, each of those sides are 2 by 5 and there are 2 of those, so 5 times 2 times 2 is 20. And finally the top and bottom of my cuboids, they will also be the same as each other. So looking at those dimensions, 12 by 2, if I then double that, I can get a total of those 2 sides of being 48. This time I only have to add up 3 answers to give a total surface area of 188 centimetres squared. Now have a go at questions 1 to 5 on the worksheet. When you're ready, you can restart this video and we'll go through a couple more questions. So here's another example. This time I'm told that the total surface area of the cube is 384 metres squared, and I need to find just one of the lengths. Now it looks a bit tricky because we're not given any other measurements. However, what I do know is that a cube has equal sides. There are 6 equal sides in total. So using that information, if I divide 384 by 6, that gives me the area of one of the faces. Now because the lengths are the same, something times something is 64, I know that my answer will be 8. The correct way of writing this would be to say the square root of 64 is 8 metres. Here's one final example before you finish that worksheet. So wrapping paper costs £1.20 a sheet. Each sheet covers 500 centimetres squared, and I want to know how much it will cost to wrap this cuboid. Now because we're wrapping the shape, it means that we need to find the area of all the surfaces that the paper is going to cover. So I'm going to start by finding the area of the front and back of my cuboid. They have dimensions of 50 by 10, so 50 times 10 times 2 gives me a total surface area of front and back being 1000. Next I'm going to look at the two sides. I can see that dimensions of each side is 15 by 10, so 15 times 10 times 2 is 300. And finally, looking at the top and the bottom, they each have dimensions of 50 times 15, so 50 times 15 times 2 is 1500. So that gives a total surface area of 2800, and we were told in the question that each sheet of paper covers 500 centimetres squared. So what I need to do here is to divide 2800 by 500, and that gives me an answer of 5.6. Now I can't buy 5.6 sheets of paper, I need to buy 6 whole sheets. And then finally I was told the cost of each sheet is £1.20, so I need to multiply 6 by £1.20, giving a final answer of £7.20. Okay, now finish the rest of the questions on the worksheet, and don't forget, if you get stuck, don't forget you can email me. Thank you.